Hello everyone. I'm level 36 and welcome back to Stationeers. Today, we're picking up right where we left off. Cooling off some water and other stuff. Hopefully a little better than we did down below. So, let's get right to it. Last time we set up some gas filtering for our waste gas from an H2 combustor and our furnace. So this will grab any oxygen, or water most importantly, oxygen, and nitrogen that comes off the system, and we're hoping to store it and cool it down. To cool it, we started setting up I guess I'm going to call it an open loop pollutant refrigeration, or cooling. I guess I shouldn't call it refrigeration. It's just cooling system. So this, it's getting pretty close to us being able to turn it on with it getting cooler outside. Actually, we can turn it on now. Plenty cool. This vent draws in a whole bunch of gas from the outside world. That gas gets pumped into this tank and this pipe. It, under high pressure, should get cool enough, hopefully. I think I might have ruined it a little bit by letting it run while it was like 800 degrees outside. I need this to be below 150 degrees C for this to work at all. It hopefully, let's see if it works now. Just one more degree. Alright, technically now it should start to condense soon, hopefully. There we go. So it starts condensing into liquid pollutants because of the pressure and temperature of the night air. And that comes into this tank over here, which will start to build up, hopefully, a supply of liquid pollutant. Now, the problem we ran into last time is it didn't stay liquid. All of it evaporated. And it seems to be continuing to do that. Now, that evaporation is progressively decreasing the temperature inside of our system here, which is good. It's essentially more or less what we want, but I kind of wanted some just straight liquid pollutants hanging out. So hopefully we actually see some of this not just evaporate immediately after collecting it today. Now, whether that will be a reality is yet to be determined. That's our mining backpack. But the goal of this is to hook this up to this evaporation chamber, chill that out, hook that up to these radiators here, and cool the stuff on the inside down as cold as we can get it, reasonably, and have some nice, cooled, safe-to-use water. I feel like more of it is building up this time. But it's getting concerningly high pressure. Because the problem is these liquid pipes can only hold up to 5 MPa. They're already at 4.1. So if we get to above 4,995 kPa or 4,990 kPa, we'll start to vent pollutants back to the atmosphere as a safety mechanism. The problem with that is that will limit essentially how much pollutants we can hold, because once we start venting, the well, I guess it'll just cool it a little bit more. Because the problem... Ah, crap. Storm. Not what I wanted. Alright, well, we need to get back inside anyway. Now these make it hard to see, and that's crevasse. Crumbs. It's not really a great way of getting across this. Luckily, there's a little knife edge bridge right here. All right. Well, that's unfortunate. But I think it's technically working. It should work. Hopefully it'll work. Hopefully it'll produce more than it uses in a day. But we got some iron last time because we had run out. Let's dump that out. Have some more sitting around somewhere. No. Okay. So we were making some tanks to hold all this stuff in. This one will hold our water vapor. Then we have oxygen and nitrogen set up as well. Gold we can throw in the furnace real quick, process into some ingots. There we go. Pop those back for my tools. So if we fasten each of these down now, just need to print some filters, and technically this should all start working. It's going to be a bit of a pain to get to everything over here because it's fairly cramped, but we'll make do. So we need water filters. Oxygen filters. And then nitrogen filters. then we can see if this works. So this is our H2O filtration. Smack those in there. O2 filtration. And then nitrogen filtration. Turn all you on. Turn you on. Open you up. We have a whole bunch of stuff getting processed through. So we've got some water, a tiny, tiny bit of oxygen. I don't know if this was really worth it necessarily. And then a little bit of nitrogen. And a whole lot of volatiles, pollutants, and CO2 getting dumped out into the atmosphere. This should slowly get pressure worked through as it kind of bleeds through all of this stuff. But really what we're interested in is the water, so let's open up our valve to our H2 combustor. As this burns a whole bunch of stuff to make a whole bunch of water. So we're producing water. Got a little bit of it held. It's not super fast, but I'm kind of okay with that. Let's cut that off. Use up what we've got in the system. So between these, we've got like almost 8 moles of liquid water, or not liquid, gaseous water in storage. It is really hot, like hot day on Vulcan hot. We have the tiniest little bit of oxygen. Was this worth it? Almost certainly not. And an actually decent amount of nitrogen. Like, tiny, but good enough. How much oxygen's actually in here? Not much. It all burns up. Pretty much. And the gas mixture is supposed to be like almost perfectly efficient, so that kind of does make sense. May be able to just remove this one entirely if it's like super not worth it. Let's see how the storm's doing, because I kind of did need to be outside. Oh, storm's gone, but the sun's up, so it's hot. Real hot. Well, let's take care of our needs then. Let's head inside our little safety room. Drink some water. Grab some potato seeds and some potatoes. Oh, I do hope everyone's having a wonderful day today. I know I'm having a pretty good one. Filming this right after I filmed the last one, so still a good day. That's over there. Should probably take our suit off for a minute. That's okay. We got plenty to do still. All right, so these are all set up now. For the water one specifically, this one we will need to have a way of extracting the actual water from it. So if we grab a portable tank liquid Mark II, and then a valve, we will be able to, once we figure out how to cool it down, get our liquid water and use it in a liquid state. And I think we have some liquid pipes just kicking around right now, so that's good. Now I need a valve. May come back to bite me, but I'm not currently anticipating needing gaseous superheated water. So we'll just slap that down, connect that, grab that, and fasten it down. So now, any liquid water should come directly into here when we have this valve open, at least. But this water is not liquid currently, and not anywhere near being liquid. It is still very, very hot. So we can print out some more pipes to start setting up our cooling array and get this all going. So let's grab some pipe. So we've set up these radiators up on top. And what we're going to do is hook this up with some pollutants charged into it to our condensation chamber, or no, evaporation chamber out there. And that will allow us to cool all the stuff that we have hooked up to this through the heat exchangers. Hopefully. As long as it actually works. It is getting to be nighttime out, so it's just about time to go back to experimenting. As long as we don't get another storm. Should be fine. That's hooked up. We need to charge it with some pollutants. There we go. We'll grab a gas tank full of them in a second. And before we do that, let's kick back on the cooling system, or the pressurizing system, I guess I should say. Ooh, and we do still have, we actually have a good amount of liquid pollutant. 30 liters. This is promising. So it seems to have reached steady state. You can see that condensation marker flickering, which means that it's cooling. I mean, I guess technically we can just do this for now. That should be fine. So if we go to our pollutants and let's say we want to go to like nice and cool, let's just say 10 degrees. We need 3,420. Let's set this to 3,427. Turn you on. Oh, there's a decent amount of liquid pollutants in there. That's not great. Or no, that's the evap chamber. Pipe network has nothing in it yet. We have to reach our pressure first. Right, the temperature is starting to climb pretty quickly, but let's grab a pipe cowl so we can set this up properly. And then, and maybe another valve so we can just play around with the pressure or two inside. And we'll see, this seems to actually be working. I'm kind of impressed. My harebrained ideas don't usually do that. I guess technically I could try... No, it's going to be too high pressure to do that. I was going to say I could try and inject the... Well, with the pump I could. It might not be a terrible idea. It's not going to be hot as... Yeah, let's grab volume pump. Let's grab some more pipes. No, not those pipes. Duh. Insulated pipes. Oh well, I'll use these eventually. I swear I had a volume pump somewhere around here. Man, I have so many pressure regulators just sitting around. Volume pump, there it is. Da, 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 da. There we go. Go try this out. So this I'm pretty impressed. This seems to actually be working, which, like I said, for most of my hairbrain ideas is further than we usually get. Let's grab these. Valve. These again. Another valve. One way this time. Forgot the pipe cowl. Dang it. Well, we can at least do this. This works out. This will be actually a kind of closed loop system. Eh. All right, let's see. Uh-oh. What's unhappy? Pressure shouldn't be dangerously high. This is limiting the pressure. Okay, we'll drop the pressure a little bit. There we go. Seems happier now. Or not really necessarily. Let's kick this on. I want to see if this works. Temperature seems to be coming down. Pressure in that line is coming down. Pressure in here is still going up, which is a smidge confusing because this is supposed to be limiting that pressure. Confusing and a bit worrying. There we go, it's going down now. Both of these should be using pressure. And the temperature is, in fact, coming down pretty significantly.
Caution. Air tank critical.
I mean, it certainly doesn't sound happy, but it is working. Temperature is continuing to go down. Pressure in there is fine. This is all good. We've got a huge stash. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that necessarily. We seem to be using more pollutant than we're producing. This may not work super long term. I'm running out of air, so let's... oh, it's getting hot again. That's why it's not working. Okay. I gotta either set up a system so that when it gets above nighttime temperature, that just cuts in and out on itself, or be more remembering of the fact that I have to do that. Alright, we need air, and fast. There we go. All better. But we have liquid. We have liquid water. Gosh, it's actually working. We are cooling water into the tiniest little amount of liquid water. But it's liquid water nonetheless. This has to do the same thing that our tank did, where it has to evaporate to reach steady state pressure. But it's cool. And it's liquid. Liquefying. There's not enough vapor pressure here, I think, to really reduce the temperature of this. It's just not enough in contact with our radiator. Or not radiator, heat exchangers. But we have produced liquid water. Heck yes. Awesome. This is very slowly processing through all of the pollutants, oxygen, and all that good stuff. We're going to chew through these filters so fast. But let's kick some more fuel at this and get some more water making. This is going to spike the temperature a little bit, but that's okay. This also seems like a much more efficient cooling system than what we tried to use. I think especially in like a cascade system, which would allow a little bit more control over it. If we had like a huge, you know, like liquid pollutant thermal battery, as it were, that would be pretty nice. Or even like liquid CO2. But we're making some small amount of liquid water. Could probably pressurize this with some, like, I don't know, CO2. It's fine. I don't mind some of it turning into gaseous water. It reduces the temperature a little bit further. And I guess we can also just hook up like a regular AC unit, also attached to this top pipeline. Yeah, this is pretty cool. See how it's doing out there. It's daytime now. Let's see how it's all functioning. Oof. We are chewing through liquid pollutants. How much heat are we removing? 16 kilojoules. That's pretty good. But we are gonna use all of our pollutants very quickly. Fill 18 liters in here. And we are pumping our waste back in, and this is at 70 degrees. So that's actually technically cooling our source tank a little bit. Is allowing just a little bit more to condense out. So I think this was a good idea, this volume pump here. I should really make some more frames. I still want to set this up as like an emergency system, but there's no doubt that we're removing a lot of heat from the system. No denying that. So I count that as a functional system. Even if it doesn't run all the time, it's not perfect, and I'm sure I could think of some improvements to it. Definitely automation would be a huge improvement. But it's working. We still have this going, so that means it's actually like keeping up. I don't want to run that anymore because I need that fuel actually, but we've condensed out like a non-insignificant amount of liquid water. Okay, a pretty insignificant amount of liquid water, let's be honest. That's like less than 1 mole. But it's still kind of processing through. You've got 61 moles of hot gaseous water, which is being cooled at a fairly rapid rate in reality. And there we go, we're condensing again. Which will mean we're going to spike the temperature over here, which is not great. We're going to have to temperature control this, unfortunately. So let's actually just do that. We need another radiator. We need another heat exchanger. Because we want to take liquid and exchange it with gas in this instance. Because we need a air conditioner. So let's see. If we set this up kind of right here, like, or right here, yeah, that'll be fine. We need some cables again. we'll need some volume, so we'll want a utility kit. I make one of these at one point that I just kind of didn't use and threw somewhere random. Or is that the liquid one? No, that's the pipe utility kit liquid. Yeah, I don't know where to put it. Actually, we need 2 of those for what I want to do. All right, that's set up. This now needs to go up. And we need more pipes. Dang it. Let that run and we'll go. No. Dang it. I forgot. The golden rule. I need to replace that with a real airlock. Finally. It's been a few too many times that I've done that now. We can turn you back on and see how we're doing. Fall down the hole. So luckily, as the thermal load decreases, the need for extra pollutants should also decrease. So this should really only be chewing through tons and tons of pollutants when we're actually like loading the system super heavily. So i.e. when we're actually making water. We're gathering a good amount of liquid pollutants pretty quickly. And if we, fill this up to pretty much capacity or close to it, we'll definitely have enough to last a while. I never turn that on. Is it not connected? Are we out of power? We're out of power. Great. We're not out of power, it's still on. We exceed this circuit. $4,000 watts. The thing in here still looks powered. What the heck? It's happened twice now where stuff seemingly randomly shut off for no reason. Like, this is all still 100% connected. Why no power? That's why, because our whole base is out of power, because our solar array got damaged. I never patched it. We need to make some stellite so we can make some better insulation for this. Well, we might blow a pipe. That's unfortunate. Forgot that we had a storm the end of last episode, or beginning of this one. And if we don't fix our solar panels in about a day, we run out of power. We need to also upgrade our power situation again. It's constantly just another thing breaks, another thing to fix. But yes, that is why. Let's turn that off, because that's a huge draw. And let's hope we didn't blow up our plumbing. It sounds pretty dang close. It is pretty dang close. Come on, sun, come on up. Let's go save power where we can, turn stuff off we don't need. Like this whole system down here. Can't use that, so can't turn stuff off inside. Alright, we're venting again. So we should be returning to a safe pressure. Good. Luckily the wind turbines did their job.
Hydration critical.
Ah, the power's out again.
Air tank low.
Everything's broken. When is the sun gonna come up? Every time I want the sun to be out, it's not. Every time I don't, it's like, too bad, it's daytime again. Oh, these are still damaged. I know duct tape's more efficient, I just don't have any, and this is kind of an emergency. Ah, there's the sun. Come on, sunshine. Doesn't seem to be really facing where it's coming up at. There we go. Not generating anything yet. Come on. There we go. Power.
Waste tank caution.
See, did anything explode? No. All's good. Turn you back on. Let's head back inside.
Air tank critical.
I know, I know. We've got more water. Okay, let's get some water in us. There we go. Now, let's CO2 again. Could set up an alarm at the very least to warn us when the CO2s run out. Still not enough, but we can inject some more over here. Pop you open for a second. That wasn't as much as I thought it'd be. Hell, 5% still better than nothing. Alright, let's finish up what we were working on. We need a utility kit. Dang it. I did it again. At least the power outage saved me from infinite insulated pipes. I mean, I guess I shouldn't complain. I'm always needing more of these, so... Alright. Utility... gas... In fact, we just needed more of these to complete. our plan of hooking this up to our coolant line. Nice and cool. Now we just need to charge this with some gas, which we can honestly just do without that. We can just wrench. There it is. Grab some cables. We need some more pressure in there, but we can do that outside. Really fill in that gap. We don't have as much of a chance of falling through. Cut you off. And then open you up. One megapascal should be fine for now. It is getting nighttime again, so we can run this again and hopefully not run out of power this time. See actually how our power situation's doing. Not great still, even after a day of solar exposure. So maybe we don't run it tonight. Definitely need to expand our power. Uh-oh. Oh, crap. Need to remember to turn that back on. So this does kind of function closed loop-ish at night, which is nice. And this is still dumping a little bit, but that's just a safety valve, essentially. And realistically, why are we don't... We could just... Okay. Maybe I'm dumb, but I don't think so. I can literally just... make some awful pipe spaghetti. Now it's actually closed loop. This is perfectly safe. Completely full of stuff that I don't want in there, but it's fine. It's not going to get in this side. Now, these are our pressure reliefs. This is just pumping everything back into here from this line. Maybe it's not the most energy efficient cooler in the world, but now we don't have to worry about, unless we're actively charging the system, which we can do right now, to build a bunch of pollutants in here. I think I've just made a really overcomplicated closed-loop cooling system here, guys. I hate to tell you. Could have just used a condensation chamber. Maybe. I don't know. This seems to be working better than the one I had over there. I guess technically if the temperature gets too high, because this is like not super cold anymore, the temperature's actually going up a little bit, which is interesting. I'm sure it'll be fine. Let's go back inside. Finish what we started. Oh, good. It's vacuumed itself out again. I'll leave the steel on the floor over here. We just need to break this connection now. Now, in theory, this is at stable temperature. If we... Oh, we can't see the display! Poop. I think it's set to 20 automatically, but I have to hit start, and I literally cannot even slightly see it. Okay. Simple solution to this. We want our water to be cooled to 15C. It is pulling water, or pulling heat out of our water now, and cooling our lightly stocked water tank here down, dumping the heat into our big cooling pipe which is currently very cool, which is very nice. Honestly, we can use this coolant line here if we want to cool anything we want to through a heat exchanger. It's convoluted as heck, and we just ran out of power again. There's no wind, but we can fix that next time. It's everything's okay. I'm not stressed. You're stressed. Need to make some more APCs. And a whole bunch more solar panels. Well, that's a next time kind of issue. So, speaking of, I've been recording long enough. In here looks like an absolute mess. But we've done it. We've condensed water. So, I count that an achievement. It's a small amount, but it's an amount. And that's better than nothing in my book. So, thank you all for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed. If you have, drop a little like, a subscribe if you want to see more of this. I post every week. We're here on Vulcan for a while because I have lofty ambitions. And with that, I'll see you all next week.